let's make sure this audio is working. Get started finishing up this Green Lantern today. Exciting. Hey, what's up, Jeffro? Gonna get this lantern finished up today. So off camera, I got them all masked up, so we can I can airbrush this pearl green on here, so then his mask will kind of look like his cowl a little bit. So that's the plan. Let's see, I don't need this in the way anymore. Get this airbrush fired up. Yeah, I just gotta finish this mask, paint the eyes. So for the eyes, I think what I'm gonna do is kind of a reverse what I usually do. I'm going to gloss the mask, like a high gloss, and then after I paint the eyes white, I'm gonna paint the eyes, the white parts of the eyes, like a matte varnish. A little bit of a reverse from what I usually do. I think it'll be kind of a cool effect. You're probably not even going to notice it, but I'll know it's there, and I think it's cool. Where's my mixing brush? Yep. I am happy that I went around the lantern with a bit of a pen wash, or a bit of a panel liner, to kind of bring out those edges and the little symbol at the top. It was just looking really super flat. So that actually turned out pretty decent. I forgot I zoomed my camera way in so I could work on the portrait. So I think all that stuff's out of focus right now, but all right. Did I shake that bottle? I think I did. I'm not using that much anyway. Oh, that's right. No water. I almost messed up. Airbrush thinner for the emerald. In though, because I want the black to show through. very light. Use a liquid chrome pen on the Spider-Man logo. Oh, nice. I need to pick up one of those liquid chrome pens, especially for stuff like that. I'm sure that made it a lot easier. Yeah, send me shoot me an email. I'd like to see your Spider-Man when you're done, Jeffro. Oh yeah, I'm doing a Miles Morales Spider-Man soon. I was gonna say I need to do a Spider-Man soon. I need a Venom in my collection. I know that. I think my last quarter scale slot may go to a Spider-Man Venom diorama. If I can find a tall, skinny one. Not wanting to flow properly. What's going on here? Pressure's a little low. Just gonna run this out and put in some fresh paint here. There's something junky. There's a glob of paint in there, I think. Lot, but should be the proper viscosity now. In our Discord, I don't have a Discord. That's way too much coming out, but at least it's I think that's going to do it. some of that darkness continue to show through. So give that a few minutes to dry. You can watch paint dry while I clean out the airbrush. So yeah, after that's done, I just got to, I'm gonna dry brush the hair, paint in the eyes. Actually, while I got it masked off, it'd probably be a good time to just hit it with a gloss. Try to get this clean. Cleaning this pearl paint out is kind of a bit of a pain. Also, FYI, it contaminates your water, like your rinse water, so that sucks because you get little flakes that mixed in with your other paints. So if I was going to be using a whole lot of white, I would change out my rinse water. Do I have a Discord account? I don't think I do. I think if I do, it's a really old one. So I don't know if I could probably recover it though. Definitely not for, no, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say no, because I wouldn't use my personal account anyway. I would set up a new one. So I'm going to go with no on the Discord account for the Statue Forge email. But shoot me an email because I'd like to see it. I would say I'd join you over on a Discord, but that's just too much. I don't need any other connection platform to have to manage. So I'm just gonna go with the old school email. Some people have been telling me to just do a Switch account or Twitch account and do a Twitch stream. And I know my software will do like a dual stream, like I can stream to both, YouTube and Twitch at the same time. But I don't know if I want to get into all that. Said it feels like I don't want to play the whole, social media game that to the level that a lot of people are playing it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to rack up a bunch of followers, fans, and stuff, and try to be all, whatever. Not saying anything wrong with that. I understand. It's a booming economy right now. It's an industry, I guess. The whole internet social thing. I don't understand what the value is in it, but that's not for me to decide. So, but for whatever reason, it's a thing. But that's just too much to manage for my case. I'm just doing what I'm doing, letting people watch if they want. I do enjoy it because it's a nice level of like connectivity that I wouldn't otherwise get to have with people like you, Jeffro, and I do appreciate that. I just don't need to go to any crazy extreme about it. All right, should this be dry now? I'm going to hit it with gloss. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Hit it with a little bit of this gloss varnish. I got just a couple drops. I don't even need this cup on here. all she wrote. Now let that dry, and while that's drying, I can get it unmasked and get the hair dry brushed. Varnish off of the airbrush real quick. So are you painting right now, Jeffro? I feel bad. It's a nice day outside. It's finally like not crazy hot. Are you about to start? Cool. Yeah, I feel bad sitting in here in the studio, but at the same time, I desperately want to get this Green Lantern finished. So close. I'm so close to the end. And then maybe I'll go and enjoy some outside time this afternoon. Oh, by the way, the Plastitac and plastic wrap masking, definitely the way to go. This just makes it way easy. And the plastic wrap just like comes right off of the Plastitac so nicely. It doesn't waste any of the Plastitac, and it doesn't get caught in it. So this combo, definitely the way to go. Painted 4 hours yesterday. Yeah, that's what I love about this hobby. Like once you get into painting, I mean, you can literally just be doing it for hours and hours and hours, and time just flies by. Oh, that looks so good. There still might be some wet paint on there, so I'm going to be a little careful with it. I need my old toothpick. I always keep this little toothpick attached to the lid of the Plastitac. Then I've always got the perfect tool for Plastitac removal. Kind of rolling it around a little bit. Stuck down in the crevice between his mask and his nose. I think I'm just gonna use a little chunk. Yeah, I do that same thing, man. Just letting or when I'm not live streaming and I'm just working on the model, I usually like to have the movie or the inspiration piece, playing. And, you know, it just kind of gets me in the spirit of things, I guess. Oh, God, that's stuck in there. I can see it. I can't quite get to it. All right. Let's mash some of this tack in there so that can grab that little bit. And then pull it up quickly. Yep, that did the trick. I have a little bleed right there. Well, I guess I don't know if it's bleed until I get over there. Some of it might just be some residue. From the mask. I do love using Plastitac to mask because it does make a sharp line. But caveat to that is that if it's these little textured cracks and creases and stuff, it really just gets in there and gets really stuck. Usually it's all it takes is to just take your Plastitac and re-stick it and re-pull it. Sometimes you gotta give it a little help out of gotta help it out of the corner a little bit. I don't think that's Plastitac. I think it's actually on the skin. But I don't think I want to try to touch it up because it's too close. I don't know, maybe. Let's give it a touch up. Skin tones over here. magnifying glass in here. One little freckle right in the middle of his eyebrow that I missed, and I don't like it. Man, it looks pretty dope. I love how shiny it is. Looks so good. All right. Still want to let that varnish dry for a couple. What am I doing? Still want to let that varnish dry for a minute, and then I can paint those eyeballs and be done. But right now, get these hair dry brushed. It's hard to see on camera, but up close you can see all the little imperfections, the little skin flecks. The way the red and the blue make some of the veins and stuff kind of give a little bit of a color, just slight tint. Pretty happy with that. Looks heroic. All right, paper towel time. I did attempt to dry fit the painted head into the painted body, and it's a little tight, mainly because I sprayed so many layers of varnish on there. But I may need to sand around his neck a little bit to get his head to fit down into the head socket. I'm gonna try to force it, see where the paint scratches off, and then sand those spots down a little bit. You're not gonna see it because it's gonna be recessed down to the neck, so I'm not too worried about it. But that part sucks. I do have to do that. Where's my big fat army painter dry brush? Over here. the medium one. All right, well, I might need the medium one. So the medium size for smaller detail stuff. So for the hair, after I get all the crap out of it, so for the hair, I want to do a bit of what brown is that? Fur brown, I think. Yeah, just a slightly lighter brown. And then I may go in on the highest points and do a bit of bronze, just to give him a little bit of a sheen to his hair. I need to tighten this chuck. Oh no, actually, it's the head of that thing. Probably not good. I'm gonna clamp that down real quick. Hold on for a second. I need a pair of pliers. Spinning around now. I just have to remember that whenever I'm rotating this, I need to rotate it from down here and not up here. All right, now back to what I was saying. Give this a little bit of a fur brown dry brush. Start on the back. Oops, I have to do it again. I just want to kind of hit the high points basically. Hold it. Like there's a perfect saturation point in the brush where you can like be a little heavy-handed with it, and I always tend to rush that. It takes a couple passes to work your way up to it. It's like the bristles have to be just situated in such a way you have just the right amount of paint on them at the depth that you need it to be. Do I have places for my statues? Yeah. So, well, in this particular case, I did a built-in shelf system around my fireplace last year, basically, and I purposely built a few spots for quarter scale statues. So this is one of the statues that's going in one of the quarter scale slots. So I do have a specific place for this guy. For the most part, though, I do 1/6 1/6 scale statues, and I've got a few more cabinets to fill for that. And then I've got one more open shelf for a big Thanos I'm going to do, for a 1/4 scale Thanos. And then after that, I don't know. But I mean, it'll take me a couple years to fill these cabinets probably. I'm not too worried about that part. In there. And after that, after I fill up my room in a few years, I'm probably, unless I can convince my wife to let me put statues in other places in the house, I will probably just either give them away or like donate them to a children's hospital or something. You know, so the kids don't have to look at hospital decorations. I feel like that would be a good use of that. They no longer have a home. Or I may just give them away. I don't know. But as I've said, I'm going to participate in this hobby as long as my hands and eyes will allow me to do so. Definitely going to go back and hit this with a bronze highlight, I think. Now it sounds crazy, but the little shimmer will kind of make his hair a little bit glossy. Okay, now I'm at the saturation point with this dry brush. You start giving it a hard time now. Really reach down into the depths. This is almost like a mid-tone dry brush. I'm being a little more liberal with it. We'll switch over to the smaller one. Hold that for me. Don't need this to be super clean, but I don't want it to dry with paint in it either. There we go. So now I'm going to use this little brush. This little dry brush. Basically the same thing. In the smaller areas here. Super careful with this because going into tighter places. Semi-loaded brush. Well, that's not gonna work. After this project, I'm gonna add a little bit of super glue to this ball vise clamp here. That is unfortunate. I gotta fix that. All right. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this weapon bronze and just hit give them a little bit of a ring, just in the highest spots. I know this sounds crazy, but it gives it just a little bit, gives it that brown hair, so it's not flat. You know, I don't want flat brown hair. Sure, I'm not touching it. It gives it just a little bit of sparkle. I feel like Hal's always been a pretty boy anyway, so it would make sense he would have pretty hair.
I want to give you what I think is the most authentic recipe. So first up, guys, you only need this ingredients. Then, and I'm going to take a nice centimetre slice . And technique and timing. So as simple as this is, because you need it. And you can get some pretty good results, actually.
There we go. Yeah, it gives his hair just a little bit of a sheen. Just like right around the halo, kind of
That, my friend,
high spots.
is a thing of joy.
Alright, pretty happy with that. Oh, hey, thanks. Thanks, Mando. Get this clean in here. Dry brushes are a little more sensitive to time wise, because you can't let anything dry in them. As soon as you set them down, they start drying. All right. Cold white in the eyes is what's happening next. Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy. I gotta try to clamp that again. Actually, you know what? Resin will work, and it will be instantaneous. Safety goggles. You're watching me repair my tools, because yeah, that's gonna drive me nuts if it keeps moving around like that. I don't know how resin and metal works in concert, but we're gonna find out right now. I'm using resin to solder my alligator clamp back together. Son of a bitch, that works really nicely. And I didn't have to wait for glue to dry. Yeah, that's on there nice and snug. All right. Look at that. Mixed mediums. Love it. All right, now that's done, I can get back to painting. Oh, that's perfect. All right, coal white. Give that a mix. It's over here. Up. Why did I always use too much? Alright, I'm gonna need to go into the scope for this one. Turn the brightness down. Like blazing. God, that's really good right there. Bit of a paint test. Actually, with a small brush. Got the depth, it's got the reach, but it doesn't have it's too wide. Let's try it without this. This brush has a little hitch on the end of it. Not good. Let's try something else.
conservation is the story of waste and how it can be prevented.
And go in there.
From a puff of smoke,
Tighten that up a little bit.
throughout our land, the once beautiful forests, such as this, have become scenes of desolation. The timber is gone, and so is the wild game which once was sheltered beneath its shade. Poisonous waste is poured into our rivers, killing the fish and menacing the health of all of us. Rivers have been so polluted by the refuse from our towns and factories that they are often a menace to health. Serve the greatest good for the greatest number of people for the longest time.
I'm going to use a little bit more of a liquefied white. Let it. Too much of a flood. All right, hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. Bathroom break. I need to let that stuff dry for a second anyway. Oh, hey, sorry. Hey, AC, what's up? Why did it get into printing and painting instead of buying? Well, it's more for the hobby of doing it more than having the statue. It's more about the process of doing it for me. I don't know. It's one of those things that's kind of always been a part of my life, like just being around 3D stuff. Like I originally, after I left high school, I originally went to a 3D uh, software kind of education, like a art and animation kind of school. So I learned a lot about 3D stuff, and I was actually doing 3D stuff early days, in high school when 3D software was just starting to come out, like Corel Draw and stuff. Like I remember Corel had a 3D software, and that was our 3D like extension onto their little Corel Draw package. And my art teacher had a copy of it, and he let me try it out. So I was always into like 3D, kind of models and that kind of thing. And once resin printers became, cost effective, they were no longer out of reach, because for a long time they were super expensive. Once I got into, 3D printing, it just kind of all like just a culmination of like all the things that I enjoy, or all the things that I'm interested in. But yeah, I've always kind of been an art nerd, so this is the perfect hobby for me. Now I get to, and with the with Patreons and so many artists around the world being able to supply 3D models, like for relatively low cost. It's a cool time. It's a cool time to be alive, Yeah, I'm gonna do a satin varnish on the eyes. I want them to be glossy. Do I? Oh, I need to. There's a tiny bit of white overrun right up there. I need to get that. All right. Pearl green here. Right out of the bottle, because I do not want any sort of flow right now. Just need
Their work complete.
touch.
Are headed back to the lab. Testing. 1, 2.
Right up against the eye.
4:28 a.m. We should have something for us by then.
Bring in my scope. Actually, you know what? I think that just made it worse. Yeah, I think I just need to leave that alone. You know what? Second thought, I'm gonna go for gloss. Alright. That is all she wrote. Now, I gotta figure out how to get this thing assembled. Let me clear my paints and stuff out of the way. I'll do all the cleanup later. They're still full of wash. Sure my hands are clean. Paint brushes out of the way. I think I'm gonna need to use 5-minute epoxy because the height that this thing stands, I feel like it'll be more secure if I use some epoxy. Get these spoon tests out of the way here. Add that to my collection. Alright, yeah. So, and like I said, I was trying to dry fit the painted parts together, and they were a little bit tight. So, alright, so I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to move this camera for a second. So, let's go for a ride here. What's up, Dogus? I'm trying to get this camera readjusted, as you can see. Focus here. There we go, that's probably good. All right, so with a little bit of heat just to make sure it's set. I am super happy with how the mask turned out. What do I use to seal my paint? Vallejo varnishes. I varnish at various stages, so I don't do like a all at the end kind of varnish, you know. But I use Army Painter varnishes for not temporary, but for for quick sealing. If I just need to seal between layers, I'll use the Army Painter ones because they dry in like 2 minutes. The Vallejo premium varnishes are like my final varnishes. They cure in a few minutes, but they take, you know, like to really fully cure is like 4 hours. So. All right. So yeah, I gotta now I kind of gotta work out how to best get this thing assembled here. Like, I should probably attach the leg, the mounted leg, to the body, and then it can all go together. That part does it pitch forward? So it goes in front of this thing. I should probably go ahead and mount that first and kind of pull it forward. Oh, hey, thanks. Thanks, Bando. Yeah, I'm happy with the different shades of green I was able to get, you know. Yeah, I'm happy with the different shades of green I was able to get. His cowl's a little bit darker than everything else, but the mask matches the boots. And then the oh, what figure's next? I've got Gambit from Wicked. I've got a Gambit from Wicked next printed, and it's waiting to be cured, washed and cured, and all the supports removed and stuff. I'll probably do that the rest of the afternoon after I get this guy assembled. Make sure I got this thing in the way it's supposed to be in, because it looks a little cockeyed here. Maybe not. That's gotta go. They're not supposed to be touching. Pull that thing forward. That. All right. Yeah, so I gotta set these with some epoxy. I'm gonna pull the camera back too, so you guys can. This thing is gonna get. I kind of want to show the assembly on my assembly video, so I'm gonna reframe this shot a little bit real quick. Ain't all is really. Hey, Mando, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, the texture on this model is really nice, and then the difference in the varnishes, the gloss versus the satin, is really make it a difference on this particular model because of the way the materials are mixed. Super happy with it. All right, so I'm trying to get an estimate of how far I need to cord here. See how far back I need to set this up so you guys can see it. Because like, let me get a rough estimate real quick. Hold on. And I guess for the sake of the cinematography here, I should probably get this out of the way. Yeah, I've wanted this model for a really long time. This is the Green Lantern's always been one of my favorite characters. So I'm pretty excited to add this to the collection. You know what? All right, I'm gonna raise this desk up a little bit too, so I get more of the lantern background in the shot. Can't tell how focused that is. There you go. That looks good, I think. All right. So yeah, let's just get a rough estimate here of how tall this thing's gonna be. I'll start mixing up some putty or some epoxy. All right, so this thing is in here. This is in here. is. That's in there. That's in there. Just gonna let it crop up right now. Oh man, I'm not even close. Pull this camera way back. Look at that. He's like, all right. Not fall. Oh, I'm so nervous. Don't. That was too much weight. I can't let it go. All right. Let's just. That's probably safe right there. Oh, goodness. Couldn't do that top part. And I don't know if I can. I did not anticipate this being a problem. A little inception for a second. This is usually stuff I just record and don't actually stream. But today we're going to stream it. Because why not? Gotta get my utility software off the screen here. Okay, so it may take me a second to respond because now my chat is on the other monitor, and unless I deliberately look over there, I'm not going to see anything. So I will try to remember to deliberately look over there. Get this paint rack out of the way so I can raise this table up just a bit more. Up we go. Everything clear. Oh, what am I hitting? Board's still loose. It's like the Roman Colosseum. I am making a Miles Morales Spider-Man for a gift. I'll probably be doing that in the next probably in like October. All right, there's just no way I'm going to be able to get this all in the shot. So I'm just going to pitch it up as high as I can. I need to kill this light. Is that too dark? It's a little dark. Lead it up like that. Is that dark? I feel like that looks dark. Got too much glare in this room. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Trying to get this framed up. Like I said, I usually do this part offline, but in this particular instance, I've decided to just stream it. You guys can see what I go through to set up these shots. I can't. Is that too dark? Probably would work better if I did it like that. A little bit of side light. bright. Oh, it's that light behind me. Where's all that other light coming from? I can't tell. Is that shot? I feel like that's probably still really dark. Oh well, that's the best I can do. That light's just totally in my way now. But that does look good. I would do something like that. Alright, well, anyway. I'm going to be watching paint dry, or watching glue dry, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Just gloss the television. There's nothing I can do about it. But this is still not going to be tall enough. Oh, I don't know. Just barely. What if I push it back just a bit? You see more of it that way? How do I get his head on there? Ah, yeah, I'm gonna have to sand that down. It's still not quite. He's still a little too tall. If I can tilt this back any more. See what's going on now. All right. Trying to get this in frame before I do the final assembly. All right, that's as good as it's gonna get. This is a tall boy. Goodness. All right, and I hope that's in focus because I can't see. Either I'm making it better or worse, I can't tell. Well, I can see the hair on my arms, and I can see the glove. So I think it's about as good as the focus is gonna get here. Head. Something like that tall. Alright, he's in frame. Now we may proceed. I enjoy this part of the process though. The cinematography part of it. just it's a fun part of the process now. So what I think I'm gonna need to do is mix up some epoxy, attach the base pieces till they dry. Then I'm going to attach the leg and the foot together so it can go in as one piece. And then, oh wait, hold on, where's the other boot? I should de-stick all my parts. Hold on a second. And then, add any more. You can sit there. There, don't need more. One less thing in the shot. Go. All right, now what was I doing? Oh yeah, so this will sit in here like so. That's already in place. This is already in place. Then I'm going to need to go up in here and attach his little boot manually. So that's it. That's all the connection. Probably should have put magnets in this, but this can just be super glued, so that'll only need a few seconds because there's no weight. You know, there's no weight to this. It's not holding any weight. This, and this, and that are going to need the epoxy because there's just going to be a whole lot of weight on that peg. And then while that is drying, oh, you know what I should do? I forgot to put this on a turntable. We're definitely going to want to turn it when we're all done, right? It's probably going to throw off my framing a little bit. Should I check it? I want to check it. Clear this up a little bit too. You can see the top of the frame there. If I need to cheat it back, I can. Quick monkeying with it, get back to business. So yeah, so I'm gonna need to use the epoxy on the legs and the leg and the boot because it's got supporting like the most amount of weight. The rest I think can be super glue. I may want to do the epoxy on the hand that holds up the lantern. Got a little bit of heft. Got a little bit of weight to it. Trying to imagine when it's there. That super glue would be enough to hold it. I think I may do both. So what I think I'll do is do the epoxy in the key. Anywhere I can get it to touch. Doesn't feel like it's touching anywhere. And then I'll do super glue on the outside. Or should I like pre-attach it so I can let it cure with some epoxy? It'll sit awkwardly till then. I don't want to break it. I think I don't know. I'll decide when I get there. All right, I think we got. Sounds like a reasonable plan. Five-minute epoxy. I need something to mix it up with. In this little plastic thing, perfect. I need a mixie stick. Perfect. Yeah, it's this. It's a resin and a hardener, and you mix them up together in equal parts. And after 5 minutes, once it cures, it's like cement. Couldn't tell, is that in the frame or not? Let me see. Yeah. So mix up this this two-part epoxy, and it will. It should hold. It'll definitely hold the base pieces together. The problem is it's like it's only got a 5-minute working time. So, or actually, I mean a couple minute working time, I should say. It's like once you mix it together, you got to slap it on whatever you got to use, and then get to holding. So I usually mix up just a little bit at a time when I'm doing it. Yeah, like I said, this is 5-minute epoxy, so because those things I don't really need to worry about moving around so much. What I typically do is I'll use the epoxy in the in the stuff that I really need to use it on, but I'll put a little bit of Gorilla Glue on the outside to kind of just because the Gorilla Glue will hold it place in seconds. So once that's holding in place, then it allows the time for the epoxy to dry, to cure. So I guess, long story short, it's a little bit of both. All right. Here goes nothing. Something. Parts and pieces out of the way. So, put it aside. I need to put in. I think the front piece can just be super glue. Back piece, that one needs to be epoxy. So it needs to go in there something like that. You just want to pitch forward as far as you'll go. Some weight to it though. Can't get it oriented just so. Very well. Yeah, for the front part, I'm just going to use just straight up Gorilla Glue here. So I will try to make watching glue dry as entertaining as possible. But this is basically just going to be me, doing this. but we are still just watching them dry. I'm hitting the bottom key. Oh, I know. Sit down. Like I said, usually I do this part offline and just record it for my video, but I decided to stream it today. But it is definitely not the most action-packed part of the process here. We're just holding stuff and moving it around. So it'll be a time lapse. I'll speed this part up. Yeah, that Gorilla Glue is great because it just sticks pretty quick. And anywhere. Sure, pitch forward far enough. I give this a little bit of a twist here. Like it's got a little bit of wiggle. Twist it up a little bit so that it's supported. Actually, maybe that's a mistake. Like that. Oh, open my head. Gotta be tilted. It's gotta be twisted more towards the rock like that. The way the pitch on the leg. It's settled. Should be something like that. Up. There. Hard to tell where it's seated. Rub it on that other part over there. Alright, well, whatever. Let's get some epoxy in there. Also, this epoxy, this resin epoxy smells god awful. Woo! Stinky. Alright, pretty sure that is use a liberal amount of epoxy around the key, and then around the top of the key I'm going to put Gorilla Glue, because that'll just help it lock into place after a few seconds. Otherwise, you're literally just going to be watching me hold it for 5 minutes. Oh, this stuff smells so bad. Probably doing some damage to my lungs or something too. I'm not gonna talk about that part. Review though, you could juggle the parts. That's funny. You're funny. Sorry, I can't keep this on. I can't keep my hands on camera and keep the thing in frame. So at least until I get to the higher up parts. All right, here we go. Here goes nothing. Put the boot in there just so I can see what's going on. Try to get this angle right. I hope that's right. See what happens. All right, let that epoxy harden. And really want to mess with it too much right now. Let that sit and hold in place. She's in there. I'm going to do the same thing to the leg piece now. I'm going to add a little bit of epoxy and a little bit of Gorilla Glue to the leg here. caps. Noted. Ooh. I don't know when epoxy is fully mixed together. So it gets kind of, I start looking at it when it gets kind of cloudy. Then it's thoroughly mixed. I could be completely wrong about that. I'm really just filling up this keyhole right now. Now on the leg. Put some Gorilla Glue. The upper leg hole. This doesn't really matter if there's any spillage because nested down inside of the boot, so it's good to know. All right, boot in, pant in boot. Here we go. Nope. Here we go. Anybody knows, has it been 5 minutes? Since I glued that big back piece on there? Tell you what, that's not going anywhere. That is solid. Bootleg complete. All right. Oh, you know what? I need to change gloves. I've got glitter bits in these gloves. I just saw it transfer to the black of his pants. All right, I'm gonna let this stuff dry for a second. my hands dry for a second. And I'm gonna grab a water. Be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see what's now this. It's been at least 5 minutes. Now we can see about getting this. I gotta get this light out of my face. Oh, forgot my gloves. That felt weird. It felt good though. I like the way statues feel when you're done with the varnishes and everything. Little ASMR of me putting on my gloves on my sweaty hands. Ah, there we go. All right, fresh gloves. So now we know we're not going to be contaminating anything. It's like dusting. Don't want to mess up here in the last mile. All right, so this is going to go in here like so. A little bit of a twist so that his upper half is level. Like that. I need to make sure it goes in there like that. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this! More epoxy. finish the statue and then admire it over some lunch. Getting hungry. No, I don't think the key touches the bottom, but just in case it does. Jeez. Alright, there we go. It is a bountiful amount of epoxy. I got a goober on me. Okay, there we go. Put this just to hold it in place. Fill the epoxy dry. Oh, I got a little bit of glue overage. Solid. Real solid. In there. Oops. Oh, no, I got little goo-goos on me. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that hasn't budged. Gorilla Glue is no joke. All right. So before I attach the body, give that a few minutes to dry. Before I start attaching the body, I want to dry fit this head on here because it does not want to go on easily. I'm wondering if it has to. starts rubbing on the paint along his neck. I could just push it on, take it on and off a couple times until it breaks through. Ooh, I have to be very careful not to do stupid shit like that. Break. Have no choice but to shove it down on there. A little bit of like, yeah, let me get a little bit of sandpaper here. These spots where the paint is rubbing. I'm off camera. I'm just I'm sanding the head down just a few microns around the rim, so it'll fit down into the neck hole a little easier. I don't think I anticipated putting this many layers of paint on the head, but because of the first couple passes I made, I needed to revise. He's probably got double the amount of layers on the head. An awesome Batman model? Well, I mean, what version of Batman are you looking for? Are you looking for like a movie accurate version, or like a movie version, or like a comic version? Wicked's got a couple good Batman models. They've got a Batman and Bane kind of series. They got just their very first Batman model was like a deep cut from a video or from a comic book. But they have some others. There are tons of good Batman models out there. I like the Batman and Catwoman one that Wicked did as well. That was, you know, it's very classy. All right. Give that a bit of sanding. It fits down in there a little better now. All right. Well, I still have to give it a little force, but honestly, I don't even think I need to. Paint is grabby enough. I don't even think I need to add any glue. I will, of course. All right. Head's got a little damage around the collar, but you're not going to see it. All right. So, I guess I'll go ahead and get this other booty glued on here. Yeah, I would say Wicked is my go-to for or not Wicked. I guess for the DC it's Berserk is their DC account, Patreon, but it's the same guys. And I really like their stuff. The only reason I'm doing this CA Studios one is because of the vertical orientation of it makes it perfect for what I need. Like Berserk has a Green Lantern, but it's the one where he's the kingdom, the king Green Lantern or whatever. I don't remember what it was, or Emperor. But one where he's got a big cape and armor and stuff, and I like this Hal Jordan version. Well, this is awkward. I guess. Weird fit. Just give this a few seconds. I want to hold it still for about 20-30 seconds. But this Gorilla Glue is usually pretty good about bonding. Just like that. Twist. Nope. Look, it does not have everything on Patreon page. One Batman. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Do they have just a search on? Did you search on Gumroad? Search on Gumroad, because I think they put all of their stuff there, and you can just buy them individually. Oh, so now for this tricky bit of business. The weight of this lantern, I kind of want to glue it separately. Yeah, I think I need to glue it separately because it's got a bunch of weight. I want to make sure it's on there nice and firm. I'm going to epoxy it. Yeah, check out gumroad.com and look for Berserk Studios. I think you'll find some of their other stuff there. Put this inside, put the epoxy in the keyhole. Thick. And on the top I'll put Gorilla Glue. That way, the Gorilla Glue will hold until the epoxy hardens. usually just Gorilla Glue it, but this has got some gnarly weight to it. Some Gorilla Glue all up in here. Make sure I got solid contact all the way around as much as possible. And quit moving. Not moving or not. I think it's safe. Oh, that's not safe. Well, I need to find a way to lay this down. I'm gonna go ahead and attach the body. Epoxy. Oh, hey, thanks, Tyson. Sorry, my chat is on my other screen, so I can't look over while I'm in the middle of stuff, but I'm just mixing some epoxy right now. But Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. All right, got my glues, my adhesives applied. Got long abs. Got a whole lot of abdominals. No, there's still a big. No, there's a big seam. Okay, it's moving. That's why. It isn't quite done yet. I was like, where did that seam come from? Pressure on it. And glue on this little sparkly thing coming out of his buoy. Can't tell unless you're looking really hard. Alright, let's get this other arm attached. It's got some weight to it too, so I'm gonna put a little epoxy on there. Ooh, goodness, that stuff stinks. Epoxy sticks. Covered. A little bit of Gorilla Glue. Garbage on there. All right, here goes hand number 2. See what's going on up there. I'm sitting down too low. Thanks, Jeffro. Getting this thing glued together.
just time for his head. Here goes nothing. I do need to fit this down into it though, so I gotta push kind of hard where the paint rubs. But I also don't need to push it all the way in because I need to get past where it you get past the collar. I don't even think this glue is going to make contact, to be honest. That's okay. I don't think I'm going to be carrying him around by his noggin. Alright. Here we go. Here comes the crown. Oh, yeah, this is a weird fit. Oh, I don't want to push down too hard, but I have to. There it goes. Ooh. That's in there. Here we go. Ta-da! So tall. Put the camera down here, make it a little more heroic. All right, there we go. There he is. There's the boy. Old Hal. Goodness. It does feel pretty good. Center's weird. Center of the base is not the center of him. There we go. Probably better axis. Alright, there we go. I like his like this little clear bit that comes around his leg. Yeah, that should fit nicely over in that that tall cubby I have. Still weird that they modeled some like rips and stuff in his gloves. It does look like battle damage, but I didn't want to battle damage him up. Thanks, Jeffro. Yeah, I'm happy with it. The lighting in here right now is pretty bad. Like once I do my studio shots, hopefully you'll see a little bit. You'll be able to see a little clearer. But in person, the textures are really nice. The different varnishes, the way the light hits. I guess it's probably a little too much. If I get rid of that, yeah, give him a little bit of darkness. Yeah, you can see the way the specular highlight hits the mask. So you can sort of see all his little features. Yeah, the way the light bounces off of this thing is really nice. Quite happy. And it really didn't actually. This was one of my shorter projects. This one only took 10 sessions. You know, some of the other ones I've done, you know, most of the other ones I've done have taken upwards of 20. So that's pretty good. Oh yeah, thanks. The OSL on the rocks. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. I was afraid it was going to be too much, but like it's just a subtle little thing at the bottom. Like you don't really even notice it until you get down. And you're like, oh shit, it's glowing down there. But yeah, no, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. So this is my afterglow. I'm just going to sit here and stare at it for a little while till the newness wears off. And then sometime during the week I'll do the photo shoot. So I'm happy with this. This is cool. I wanted a Green Lantern in my collection for a long time. I'm glad I glossed his visor, his eyes, his white eyes. I'm glad I glossed them because, yeah, it looks nice. That was a good finish. I probably could have pushed his hair just a shade brighter, but again, in real life, you can see it. Probably could have pushed that dry brush just a little bit harder, but I'm happy with it. Alrighty, well there you go. That's the Green Lantern. Next up is Gambit. I will probably be starting on that hopefully like midweek. I gotta wash and cure all the parts and stuff, so I'll probably be doing that next. Hey, what's up? Yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Gambit next. I will probably be doing that middle of the week. I'll be cutting. I got to cut together footage for this, and but I'd like to start prep work on Gambit middle of the week probably. Today I'm just gonna bask in this glow of finishing this guy, and then I'm gonna probably start curing and cleaning and curing. It's the Wicked. It's the Wicked Gambit with the big fiery base. You know, I actually printed out all those parts in transparent, so in clear resin. So I'll be able to give them a nice tint. I can't decide if I want to run LEDs underneath it though. I'm kind of thinking about doing that. It's just such a big chunk of resin, like clear resin down there for the Gambit. I think I'm gonna have to use some really bright LEDs. Like I'm gonna have to go like 5-volt LEDs to light all that up to my liking. So anyway, I might do that. I might not. I'll see once I start tearing the parts apart and getting into it. Because I did print those. I learned from my mistakes on this one. Remember I was telling you how every statue I've learned from my mistakes. This mistake is that when you're printing transparent pieces, they really just have to be solid. You can't really hollow them out at all. I tried to hollow this big chunk out, and it looks okay. But you can see through, like you see the bubbles in it, you can see some of the print stuff, and now I know anytime you're doing anything with transparency, you just really have to print it solid. So on using that knowledge, I printed the Gambit base transparency super solid, and it's pretty thick. So I like how the texture in the leg still, or in the satin parts of the suit. Like I still love how they catch the light, but they're just subtle. There's a little bit of a raise, like there's a little bit of a gray blue in there, highlights of his muscles on the high spots, just to kind of call them out. Probably could have pushed that a little harder too, but I really wanted a clean kind of, you know, studio pose for him. There we go. And his skin's nice and clean, you know. But in person, it's got definitely some subtleties, some subtle light parts to him. Like you can see the some of the freckling and stuff in his skin, and veins, and the blueness. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I need to practice making people skin tones again. I've been painting skin on turtles and Lobo, and I've been painting everything but like people skin since I really learned how to do it with cable. So I need to get back into it. So I'm glad Gambit's got a little bit of skin. I guess I could practice again, but I need to do somebody with like a full face. So I may continue with my X-Men run and do the Rogue after I do Gambit. And then that'll be my September, basically. And then October I start with Miles and one of the Baldur's Gate characters for my kid. So I'm doing two holiday statues starting in October. So those slots are booked, I know, but I'm not going to try to squeeze and get the Thanos done, even though I want to. Thanos may be my Christmas project myself, maybe my holiday project. My company is gracious enough with their PTO time that we basically closed the company, or closed the office for like half of December. And so I may use that holiday time to do my Thanos. That would be dope. It'll be mostly airbrush too, because he's going to be so chunky. All right, I'm going to sit here and keep talking. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this stream. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm glad you got to see it finished up and come together. Yeah, thanks. And like I said, I'll be starting on the next one next week. So make sure you come back. I'll catch you later.